What's happening, LEGO fans? Welcome back. Alex and Josh with you here today. In this video, we will be building the new Ninjago City Gardens LEGO set. This is set number 71741, contains 5,685 pieces. That makes it the fifth largest LEGO set in terms of piece count. Now, I'm not sure how long it's going to hold that place because LEGO keeps coming out with these massive LEGO sets that keep dethroning other large sets. So time will tell, but for now it is the fifth largest. Now this costs $300 US, which is actually the same price as its predecessor, the Ninjago City from 2017. However, this has about 800 more pieces, so quite a difference in piece count there when you look at the terms of the price. But we're gonna go ahead and do a time-lapse build of this. We'll do a quick review and see if we can find a spot for it downstairs in our LEGO City. Let's go ahead and get started. And we are back. Here is Ninjago City Gardens all nice and complete. This was quite a project. It took Josh and I about 9 hours to finish this thing from beginning to end. The fact that it had 3 instruction booklets did help us. We found that we could actually split up the build a little bit. So Josh would work on one section, I would work on another to help speed it along. Probably would have been more of an 11-hour project if this was just one person. But the end result, as you see here, is quite impressive. It's really hard for me to do a review on this. I feel a little bit overwhelmed because this thing is very impressive inside and out. There's so many amazing detail added through this thing with references and Easter eggs to the Ninjago TV series. Now, when we first built it, I was very curious to know why this had the same price as Ninjago City that you see here from 2017, however, had close to 800 more pieces. The reason for that came quite clear to us as we began to build this thing, because this has a lot of very small pieces. So as you build this, it will probably leave your fingers a little bit sore if you're to build it all in one day. Now, Ninjago unfortunately is famous for using a lot of stickers with their sets, and the Ninjago City Gardens is no exception. So just know that if you build this set, it will test your sticker applying abilities. So let's talk minifigures. This has probably one of the most impressive inclusions of minifigures I've ever seen in any Lego set. And yes, that does include Ninjago City. Because what's cool about this is that it includes extra minifigures that it doesn't really say are minifigures. For example, you have the Blue Ninja J's change of clothing. Well, that could be a minifigure as well. You also have a minifigure that's being used as a prop above Chen's noodle house. And of course, my favorite thing about this thing is that you get a golden collectible Woo celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Ninjago. I have to show these things off in sections because there's so many of them. We first have these 9, and these are all characters from the Ninjago TV show. I selected this group together because these are the minifigures who don't have reversible faces. But that being said, there's incredible detail on all of their faces, and as well as all of their clothing front and back. Here's our next group of characters. My favorite one in this one is definitely Christina with that green ninja sweatshirt, and also great detail on the back of their clothing as well, some awesome details. And of course, the reversible faces offer a lot of fun playability with your minifigures. And then our final 6 are the ninjas. Again, I'm using Jay's change of clothes as a minifigure because honestly I do think it counts. But some great detail here on the back as well. We reveal their faces and some interesting expressions for sure. But of course, like the others, they have reversible faces as well. Again, just offering some fun playability with this massive amount of minifigures. Josh and I have taken Ninjago City Gardens apart as much as it can be anyway, and there's a few things I want to make mention here that I think is pretty darn cool about this set. The first one is the walkway here and the base of the set. You can actually remove the buildings completely off of them. You can't do that with Ninjago City, and the reason they allow this is so you can see the hidden items or Easter eggs underneath these buildings that we'll get to in just a moment, but I thought that was pretty clever. Another thing that Josh and I loved about the architecture of the build was the different shapes each section had. For example, look at these angles on these sections. They're all very different, getting away from that squared look that they made it have. Like this one's a pretty square. That's the only one like that though. This one's more of an oval, but look at all these very unique shapes, and I love the fact that they got away from the typical boring squared look. Also want to make mention that they continue to be very innovative with their awnings and roofs. Look at this design right here. They're using butcher knives as the awning for the Ice Planet shop here. Chen's Noodle shop here has these hot dog elements to create the curvature. And here in the back, you have these treasure chest lids used as a roof. So really cool and innovative use of items that you would never guess would be used as roofs or awnings. So we're going to start here at the bottom. Josh is going to build this thing slowly for us as we look at each section. But of course the base here is the island and bonsai tree and some cool details underneath these buildings, some hidden sections here. Over here we just have a drainage, which is for this cool little shop to buy dumplings. Isn't that so cool? I love that. And then above that is the Ninjago fan apartment, right Josh? Is that the Lego fan apartment? He is a fanatic for sure. Look at all that good stuff in there. All right, Josh, now you're going to build this thing for us, right?
All right.
Okay, let's see how it's done, my man. So it's kind of a little balcony. I like that.
Yeah.
Comes out there.
And this will stick out a little bit like that.
Oh, okay, so it overhangs. Wow. Is that safe?
I guess so.
All right. So the next to the base of tea time, go ahead and put it on, Josh, so we can see how this is actually on there, because there's a trap door, right?
Yeah.
Or a hidden door. And that opens up so to get to those items below. Very cool. Then we have a ladder going up here, it looks like, to the tea time balcony, and that's where There he is here. Let's take a look at the inside of this thing. Very cool. All right. Angled doors too as well. Very open. Okay, go ahead and put that on for us. Show us how it's done. Very cool. Now the base of this is supposed to be the very, very old style buildings, right? And I think that's definitely the case here. So great detail. All right, let's go on to the next level. So the next level walkway, Josh says, is a little tricky. So we're going to watch the master put this thing on. I forgot to mention the little bird. I think that's so cool. It had to have a nest in there on the bonsai tree.
Yeah, a little hang thing right there.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep. See that.
All right, there we go.
Very cool. The next thing to add is the Ice Planet shop. This is my personal favorite, you guys. That thing is so cool. I don't know why, but I just love it. But I will say, though, that if you were to drop something in there or knock something over, it would be hard to get in there if you've got bigger hands especially, because this thing is pretty tall and very narrow. All right, now on the other side, we would have Chen's noodle shop. All the way around here, there's a little table on the outside as well. And they have this marquee up here to kind of show the menu items there, and a place for people to sit as well. Very, very cool. All right, Josh, where you at? Go ahead and put these things on here for me.
All right.
It's getting bigger. Nice and snug.
Yeah.
Got our nest, our little bird there. The next section is probably the biggest section of the build. As you can see, it's all one big piece right here. But this has the Ninjago Museum of History. So it's got a lot of fun, great artifacts packed in this little space here. And what's a really cool feature is that this front wall, you can lift it straight up and get it out of the way so you can get a better view of all the artifacts inside. And of course, we turn the wall around and we can see what's on that interior wall. I love these windows. They look so great how they built them sideways like that. Great picture of Master Wu right there as well. And we get that out of the way. There's some cool playability features here. You can remove this picture on this side and one on the other side as well. And there is our hole, so we can break into the museum and steal these very rare artifacts. Uh-oh. And of course, across the way is the student apartment, right, Josh?
Yeah.
And this, of course, the theme is that it's a garden, so you're going to see a lot of greenery, a lot of flowers all around. And I think this balcony is removable, right, Josh?
Yes.
You can take these off, so if you did have another building go against it, I guess I don't know why you'd want to. There's a door there. But I like how they rounded that off to make that all nice. I like the walkway right here. Really nice designs. Way to get into the museum. Great colors here. I think a great use of colors. A lot of small elements used all throughout this, increasing that, that piece count like I mentioned before. All right, Josh, show us how it's done. Adding the next section. Tree goes first, I guess, huh? Oh yeah, there's that little 2x2 circled plate that shows 10 years of Ninjago. That's pretty cool. Make it all official. Nice job, it's taking shape. All right, on to the next level. Okay, the next two areas, we have the little Zen Garden, and then we have the Ninja Zone, where if you're a gamer, you're gonna love it in here. In fact, Josh, can you pull out that arcade game really quick? Should come out pretty easy. And Josh is gonna demonstrate that you can actually play this thing. I'm gonna take a look at this thing. Isn't that cool? I love it, I love it. All right, let's go ahead and put that guy up. Cool.
Just like that.
Just like that. Cool. Now we turn this thing around, and on the back of it here, you have this working ladder. So that's how they get down from the Ninja Zone to the lower levels. Very cool. Very simple design. I like it. And on the other side, on the back of the Zen Garden, we have a safe here. There you go. Now Josh says this next section is very fragile, so he already took it apart for me. So he's got this separated for me. So this actually dangles over the top of the Ninjago Museum of History. So I'm going to actually have him put this back together carefully and apply it back. Just like that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, getting up there, guys. We just have the tower to go here. Here is the hidden room, and here is the Blue Ninja's change of clothes. And this also houses a couple of these panels right here. Let's take these out really quick. And these can be used to switch out the one on the Ninjago zone here at the top. So if we want this one out of the way, take that one. Let's use the shark one. Why not? We'll put that one in here, lock it into place, and there you go. And finally, we have the control tower here at the very top of Ninjago City Gardens. I'm going to take the liberty of putting this on, if you don't mind, Josh. Thanks, dude. But you can put the capstone on. How about that? This thing here. I really like these teal colors at the top. It kind of gives it a really cool cyberpunk look to it. And it is much taller. Well, not much taller, but it's definitely taller than Ninjago City. Is that going to work? Cool. All right. There it is. And of course, here is the gazebo. This, in my opinion, is just a bonus to this whole set. They could have not included this at all, and I would have bought it just the same and maybe just been just as impressed. Also, I didn't include this statue here in my original minifigure count, but you know what? I would say that counts as a minifigure as well. But look at the amazing intricate details of this thing all up and down. There's a lot of pieces involved in this thing, and I love the versatility of it. It can be on this side, which I think is what it's intended to be because you have these balconies overhead, but this can be moved to the other side. It's also compatible with the docks as well as Ninjago City. So really cool feature. It just really adds to the overall value of this behemoth of a set. It is now time to give this an Alex score, where I give it a score based off of 5 different categories. Each category is scored 1 through 10, 10 being the best, and we start with value. Now this set has one of the better values I've ever seen of any Lego set based on its price and what you get, and it gets a 9 out of 10. The curb appeal of this set is great. I give it an 8 out of 10. Interior is okay. It's hard to get to some of those hard to reach areas in those little rooms, and I give it a 6 out of 10. Playability is good with this thing. There's a lot to do with it. Unfortunately, you do have to take it apart, it being a modular, to get to some of the areas inside of it, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. Minifigures is where this really shines for me. It has 21 total. Several have reversible faces. They're great characters from the show. It even has the 10-year anniversary Golden Master Wu. So this gets, in my opinion, a perfect score of 10 out of 10, giving it a total score of 40 out of 50. It is time now to take this thing downstairs and find a spot for it in the city. And here we are. Ninjago City Gardens is placed next to the docks and Ninjago City. As many of you guys know, my city is in a rebuild phase, so a lot of this is just under construction and quite a big mess, but we can still enjoy seeing these 3 awesome Ninjago modulars all together. It's really hard to do a review on this thing. Like I said before, it's just full of so many great details. To do a full actual review would be just a very, very long video. My best advice is if you can part with $300, it definitely is worth it. The Golden Master Wu takes his place in the display case right here. And I'm excited to get the other gold minifigures as well to complete that collection. So very excited to have him in the display case. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this review of the new Ninjago City Gardens. Let me know what you guys think of this behemoth of a set, and let me know if you guys will be picking it up. I know $300 is a pretty penny to drop on a single Lego set, but I will say that I think this is definitely worth the money. I will also say that it's very disappointing that Lego still doesn't offer the other 2 Ninjago modulars. I think it would really create a lot of value for people if they were still producing all 3. But regardless, it looks like it's still going strong, so we can definitely look forward to some new modulars in the future, so it would seem. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.